Will the future of food be bland, tasteless, gruel, or will we be dining on delicacies from test tubes? Maybe both. When it comes to the future of food, technology will change what we eat and how we grow it. But can it end hunger for all? Welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at the future of food. Do you ever wonder why your favorite cereals have ingredients that are This includes the space required for livestock to graze or be housed, plus the resources used for their upkeep. The same goes for raising fish for human consumption. However, with an ever-growing population, scientists are working on more efficient ways of producing meat. The first lab-grown meat was produced in 2013, and since then the process has become more efficient. Insects are already eaten in many countries, and they're a great source of protein. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, insects have more than twice the protein per kilogram than lean beef and 10 times the protein per hectare than global beef production. They require little water and can be fed on waste products. And although some people think that the future of food will be bland and tasteless, others think it will be exciting and diverse. First, let's start with the food production side of things. The concept art shows how lab-grown meat might be produced in the future. It could be grown in sterile conditions, which would reduce the risk of contamination and make it safer for consumers. The concept art shows how personalized nutrition could become part of our daily routine. We could have devices that analyze our DNA and create customized meals for us. The time-lapse shows how these meals could be prepared quickly and easily, allowing us to focus on other aspects of our lives. The time-lapse shows how lab-grown meat could be produced more efficiently in the future. And if you liked this video, be sure to check out our previous video on the future of cars. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload from us. Thanks for watching. Scientists are constantly working on new ways to grow meat more quickly and cheaply. Concept art shows how vertical farms might look in the future. They could be built in cities or even on the roofs of buildings. This would reduce the need for transportation and make it easier to get fresh produce to consumers. The time-lapse shows how vertical farms can operate with robots that harvest crops automatically. Lab-grown meat and insect protein are just two examples of innovations that could help feed the world. But they'll only work if people are willing to try them. There are also concerns that these innovations will only be available to the rich. But if governments and businesses invest in them, they could become more affordable for everyone. Plus, they have a lower carbon footprint than cattle. But convincing the world to eat insects won't be easy. Overcoming cultural barriers will be a challenge, as will ensuring they're safe to eat. But in the future, they could be an eco-friendly protein source. It might seem like science fiction, but you can already buy burgers made from lab-grown meat. Concept art shows how insects could be farmed in a sustainable way. They could be fed on waste products and require little water, making them an eco-friendly source of protein. Time-lapse shows how insects could be processed into a variety of products, including flour, protein bars, and even meat substitutes. Of course, the future of food isn't just about what we eat. It's also about how we grow it. Concept art shows how genetically modified crops could be used to produce more food with less resources. They could be resistant to pests and diseases, which would reduce the need for pesticides and herbicides. In 1994, the first genetically modified food, the Flavor Saver tomato, hit the shelves. It was designed to ripen more slowly, so it lasted longer. Since then, there have been lots of GM foods on the market, including corn, soybeans, and cotton. Most of these are herbicide-tolerant crops, meaning they can withstand being sprayed with herbicide. This makes them useful for farmers because it means they can kill weeds without worrying. They will also kill their crops. However, not everyone agrees that GM foods are good. There are concerns that the use of herbicides has led to herbicide-resistant weeds and that GM foods are improperly labeled. These debates will continue into the future, but GM foods are likely to remain on the market. In the future, this could reduce our environmental impact and help us produce meat more efficiently. By 2050, this number will rise to 1.6 billion. With more people needing to be fed, how can we make sure everyone gets the nutrition they need? One way is through innovation. Innovations such as drought-resistant crops, low-cost fertilizers, and edible packaging can go a long way. But changing people's attitudes towards food waste and encouraging a reduction in meat consumption will also be important. If we do all this, we can work towards ending world hunger. If you want to know more about this topic, check out our previous video on cultivated meat. As long as food is safe and nutritious, there's no reason it shouldn't be delicious. So let's take a look at some of the ways food may change in the future. Vertical farming. Traditional agriculture takes up vast tracts of land and uses a lot of water and pesticides. And with a growing population, this isn't sustainable. Vertical farms offer an alternative solution. These facilities stack layers of crops on top of each other and use hydroponic or aeroponic methods of growing plants without soil. They also use 99% less water than traditional agriculture and only need 1/10 of the land. Thanks to vertical farms, leafy greens can be grown year-round in cities, reducing transportation costs and food miles. So if you live in a city, you could soon be seeing vertical farms sprouting up around you. Lab-grown meat? Currently, the production of animal meat is a massive industry. Infographic? Personalized nutrition. Personalized nutrition is tailored food that is designed to meet an individual's needs. Most people know someone who has dietary requirements or food allergies, but in the future, genetic testing could allow us to tailor our diet according to our DNA. Some companies are already offering this service. For example, DNA Life in the UK offers nutritional advice based on your DNA. They send you a home test kit to collect your DNA and then give you advice on the best diet for you. Right now, most insurance providers won't cover genetic testing, so it's expensive. But in the future, this could become more affordable. Insects as protein. There are lots of different sources of protein, but in the future, we may be eating some unusual ones. Genetically modified foods. Genetically modifying foods isn't new. The potential to solve food security. Currently, 828 million people worldwide don't have enough to eat. That's almost 1 in 10 people. So what does the future hold? Food production is likely to become more technologically advanced in the future. Let's take a look at some concepts to see what the future might hold. Now let's take a look at some of the future foods that could be on our plates. Another food that could be on our plates in the future is insect protein. Finally, let's take a look at how the future of food could impact our everyday lives. So, what do you think of the future of food? Will you be eating lab-grown meat or insect protein? Let us know in the comments below.